We asked for 50 likes on our 140-point Wingspan challenge, and yesterday you hit the goal. So today, we're going to deliver. We guarantee a score of at least 150 points. We'll deliver a play-by-play analysis and teach you overarching strategy to win big at Wingspan, here on Legendary Tactics. Considering the devious clues we planted in the title of the video, you may have already deduced what's going to happen by the end of this video. I'm here with Cax, who just broke his previous record. Congratulations, Cax.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a long time in the making, but glad we finally broke that threshold.
Was the payoff worth it?
Oh man, totally, and a little surprising when I actually got the score I did. I undervalued this game, and it turned out to be a lot better than I thought. So that was amazing.
Okay, so on to bonus cards straight away here. Which one are you choosing and why? The Wildlife Gardener.
So I don't like that birds with the 4 eggs laid on them because it's just only 1 point per bird. It takes forever to get, and I see a Chihuahuan raven in there, so I'm actually only going to take the bowls. Eastern Kingbird right away gives me a bowl. It's also a pink power giving me some resources. And the Chihuahuan Raven is there. I'm going to start off with a bit of a risk here. I'm going to actually play the Eastern Kingbird before I take the Chihuahuan Raven. And I'm going to cross my fingers that the AI does not snipe it on me, because that would quickly thwart my plans.
You scored it. Well done. And I noticed you put the Eastern Kingbird down in the Wetland. Is that a conscious decision?
Yeah, I wanted to have him. I put him there for card draw because currently I don't have any card draw. So I thought I need card draw going, and that way if I don't get a bird that'll allow me good card draw, then I have at least some chance of getting cards in the game.
Oh, so. You just got the Franklin's Gull too. Brilliant.
Purple Gulling. Wow, what a play. So that's huge. That is absolutely huge. Because now I've got the Chihuahuan and the Franklin's Gull.
Fantastic.
And playing the Chihuahuan Raven there now, he can I'll be able to get the resources next turn for to lay in the Franklin's Gull right away into the grasslands.
So I believe
and I got a worm too.
You actually had 5 overarching strategies, I think, and one of those was having off-row powers in the grassland in the middle row. So can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so what I'm really going to focus on in this game is making sure that the grasslands, and currently it already has the Chihuahuan Raven, which is my resources. So when I hit the grasslands for eggs, I'll be getting resources. I'm also now going to get the Franklin's Gull in there, which will give me cards as well. So now, basically in that row, I'm going to have access to all 3 of the primary resources needed in this game.
One single click, and you'll be getting your egg production up really fast.
Yep, and there's the Franklin's Gull going in, and I've got that machine rolling. So that's pretty amazing. I've got cards, I've got resources, and I'm getting eggs all in one click now every turn, and it's very early in round 1. So
really, is this where you start getting excited, where you feel like I might actually break the next threshold?
Oh, very much so, because you're like, okay, like the table is set right now, right? Like I've got everything I need. I just now need like some excellent cards. Basically, is I need some good draws from Franklin's Gull or good birds in the card row, and I actually see 2 birds right there right now, the common grackle and the northern mockingbird, which is the repeat power, of course. The common and they're both bowls, so that's going to help my end of game strategy as well. Now, so a dilemma I have right here is
end of round strategy, right? I see what you're saying. You need birds with bowls with eggs.
Right, end of round, but also end of game as well. So it's going to be right now for this first round, it's a dueling benefit for me to get bowls down.
Right.
So my bit of a dilemma here, though, is do I play the grackle or do I play the mockingbird first? Do I want to repeat a power, or do I want to get the grackle in there and
interesting,
and have the ability to tuck cards right away? So
and this might lead to one of your other strategies. What is your thinking about pink powers?
Oh, extremely useful. Because the pink powers are all just passive bonuses. So there's another great. I've just got an extra card now in hand. But those pink powers really allow you to you start your turn basically either getting points or resources or something in hand to help you with your turn. So I find them extremely they're a must-have.
Okay.
For a high-scoring game.
So you're scouring the deck looking for one of those, or the card row. You're just waiting for the pink to come up.
Yes, especially early. So pink powers are going to be really beneficial. So we're like just at the end of round 1 here, and getting a pink power, that first one in play already, getting me worms is great. The key ones you want to get though are the egg drop cards, I think, because those ones allow you getting your cards full with eggs. Eggs are your resources to play other birds. They're just so versatile. So.
Well, actually, the common grackle, I love what you've done there, because you can now tuck a card behind to produce more eggs, and that actually gives you an outlet for your Franklin's Gull, getting you all sorts of cards. So you've got a beautiful trading system there.
Exactly. Yep. And they're just feeding each other at this point.
That's right.
And,
so you get 2 cards for free.
And there's the Brown's Cowbird right there. So that's great. That is one of those pink powers, and he's worth 5 points too, which is great. So that's another thing I'm really focusing on in this game, is making sure that the birds I play are never less than at least 2 points. And I've got the grackle for 3, but it's going to generate a lot of points.
Right. It seems early on you need to maybe sometimes play some of those smaller birds, but at what point do you switch to, okay, from here on it's only 5-point birds?
And 5 point it would be a low score for me. I'm looking at end of game. You're playing the 7, 8, and 9 point birds.
Wow. Okay.
So you really want to jack those up. The only exception might be birds that are like I'm thinking of the spotted owl that I think maybe came up this game, but he's worth 5. And but he gives you a end of game bonus as well, so there's a real potential to parlay that 5 points into maybe another to 15 points.
That's right. So we're just moving into round 2 here, and you tied in round 1. Were you a little disappointed when you missed that extra bird?
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate there. Just the way it works, though. Sometimes you just you can't quite get everything that you want, but.
But you had other priorities, and you're focusing more on your engine than on those 2 points.
At this point, yeah, because the first round 2, remember, is only worth if you win it 4 points. So I mean, it's not a huge point getter. It's not as critical as that last round where it's worth 7. So
right. Now the bronze cowbird is interesting, because I thought you would probably go for another brown power in the grassland. So why did you put the pink power bronze cowbird in that row?
Well, he has to go there. He's only in the grasslands, and he's so critical. That's the exact bird I was talking about. He's so critical to the build, because now basically with four bots playing, anytime any of them picks the draw eggs or the grasslands option, I'm getting a free egg.
Right.
So as long as I keep my bowls open, I've got to keep the bowl birds open, and then I'll have, as long as I have capacity for it, boom, I'm getting a bird or an egg on it. So.
Well, and I guess mathematically, there's 5 turns left here. There's 4 in the next round, 3 in the final round, or maybe it's 1 more in each of them. So I mean, do the math on that, and that's how many points this bird will score you, so long as you have
5,
capacity.
6, and 5, right? So that's a potential of 16 points, 16 eggs, right? That I get basically for free in the game, and the Browns Cowbirds gives me 5 points to play them. So. Right. There's a fair bit of return on that. I'll take the 15 points or 20 points for a bird. That's you don't need many of them to hit 150 with that kind of return. So
very cool. So now, what are you thinking with the wetland? What kind of birds do you want to stick down there?
Those are going to be as high scoring birds as I can possibly find in this game. I really like the puffin. It's worth 8, plus it gives you an end of game bonus card as well. The only drawback to the puffin is that it's only a one egg capacity, so it's very, very marginal there. But for what it offers, it's see there's another free egg to get dropped on. That's great.
Yes.
So
you're going to need some birds with capacity too, because I mean you've got an egg spamming machine going here. So where are all these eggs going to go?
Northern mockingbird.
Yeah. Well, I gotta start finding some room in there. That mockingbird really helps. It helps for a couple reasons. A, capacity, and also because it's going to allow me to repeat one of those amazing powers in my grasslands now.
Right. So if you're short on food, you get extra food. If you're short on cards, you choose that.
If I'm short, if I want to just stack for points, I can stack behind the grackle. So I've got tons of options now in the grasslands, which is amazing. I've got the whooping crane. That's another great bird I like. It's worth 6. It takes any 3 resources. And you get your end of game bonus card as well. So I do like to usually end the game with at least 3, and I like to actually on high scoring games I'll usually have 4 or 5 end of game bonus cards in hand. So
Yeah, and that's
generally what I'm looking for.
That's surprising me because normally you've got so many of those here, but I guess you've just had so many other good options that you want to get the birds out first and focus on the bonus objectives later.
Yeah, especially in the early rounds where you have to get your machine up and running.
Yes.
And I think I've got that to a good point. I've got the spotted owl there for that's going to be a bonus card up in the forest, and I've got the whooping crane, a bonus card down in the wetlands. So I've got lots of bonus cards coming for end of game bonuses. And the Baltimore Oriole. Oh, that's an excellent one. There's a 9-point bird.
He's the big scorer, yes, and he's a star power.
Star power, so
That's
it'll
brilliant.
allow me. He's flexible with any other bonuses. Like for example, the very last round is platforms, so that'll help for that one.
Very nice.
And yeah, so that's another thing I was trying to do. Speaking of bonus cards, is really trying to parlay your bonus cards together so that you can pick one bird that will actually gain benefits on several different bonus cards. So
Right.
having only one right now, it's a little early to see how that's going to be able to actually work this game. But I'm hopeful that we'll be able to do that with one bird drop hitting on 2 or 3 different bonus cards.
So it sounds like you've got 5 major strategies then, and maybe at the end of the video we can just recap those for people watching. I'd also like to let people know that we've actually done five videos now in this series, and I would encourage people to watch them in order. If you're trying to break 100, start with that one and work your way to 110, 20, 30, 40. This is the 150, so this is the climax of all the videos, was building towards this particular one. But those other ones I think teach different skills too to help you get to this stage.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different ways to approach it and to get there, and so each of those kind of tackle a different avenue of success. So
right, and I remember.
So here
one of them you actually said, I'm not going to use the raven, I'm not going to use the killdeer, and so that shows an alternate path to victory too. But sorry, tell me what you're seeing there.
Oh, okay. So I just picked a bonus card, and it was historian's name. So basically, in my mind, I always think of it as any names, any birds with an apostrophe s at the end,
right?
Or within the name. So that's how I kind of remember that one.
That's a great idea.
But
great trick.
Yeah, it's just a little trick, because sometimes if you've got a mitt full of bonus end of game bonus cards in hand, sometimes they get a little muddled, and it just takes more poring over them unless you kind of just strategize a way to remember them. So
nice. Watch for the possessive. Love it.
Yeah, watch for the so exactly. So here we are. We're dropping some eggs down, and we're looking for. So I first by accident put them into the grackle, which is a mistake because I need to keep that grackle wide open.
Right.
So I switched them over to the mockingbird, and then of course we can discard, get some supplies going. I really want to get that whooping crane down.
Yes.
That's another bonus card. Get rid of the kestrel. Don't need that one. And
so I guess you need
draw some cards.
sets of eggs here, so you probably need some in the forest so you can start balancing out.
Yeah, and that actually leads very nicely to this current dilemma I'm in, because here's one of the dilemmas I had this game. I have Wilson's Snipe in the board, and I have the belted Kingfisher. The Kingfisher, of course, is a star power, but Wilson's Snipe is an apostrophe S historian bird.
Yeah, so you're just puzzling.
So
I love you can see yourself thinking really heavily about this here.
Pouring over it, right? Because I give up the bowl if I take Wilson's Snipe, but I gain the historian for 2.
Right.
I also lose a little egg capacity with Wilson's Snipe.
Ooh.
It's worth a little bit less to actually spend on the bird.
Let's see
when
what
I
our
play
listeners,
it'll be worth 7.
See if our listeners would make the same decision as you there. If tell us at any point if you would make a different decision than what Cax made here, please add a comment below and let us know what you were thinking. I love how you gave
to hear
a bit
it.
of time there just if there's an alternate path you could have taken to boost your score more. That would be cool.
So I ended up going with the Wilson Snipe because in my mind I thought, okay, that's worth 7 points just to play that one bird, totally worth it. So I'm going to go with that route.
Brilliant.
The Kingfisher was only worth 4, even though it could hold more capacity. I decided to go with the bigger bird points. So
I think you score about 140 once a night, and so you've gotten consistently to a point where you can get these high scores. But what advice would you offer to any listeners who are having trouble breaking the next threshold, whether it's 110, 120, 130? What's some general advice that they can do to help improve their game?
I would say that your first 5 turns of round 1 are going to basically be your absolute critical. You're going to know after your first 5 turns on round 1 if you're in a high-scoring game or not, or even for the potential for a high-scoring game.
Oh, okay, right.
It happens really early. And you saw in this game, right away, I was able to get Chihuahua and Raven and Franklin's Gull and get those 2 down. And the 3 strategies that you have to remember to, and you have to have all of them, is you have to have card draw, you have to have egg ability, and you have to have resources. And if you're missing one of those 3, your game will just not shine like it could.
Right. That's a great point.
So here's another dilemma I have now. I've got 2 new end of game bonuses, and I went with the cavity instead of the wheat, because the cavity birds now, I do have a couple starbirds down. Those weren't great end of game bonuses, because I didn't really have a good momentum for either of them.
Right.
But I just thought with the cavity bird there may be more opportunity to lay starbirds down, so that's why I opted that one versus the wheat.
Yeah, you certainly love your starbirds, and we are into the 3rd round now, so this is where the game really starts to pick up. But man, you're playing very quickly for this stage of the game. This is where I tend to slow down my game, and I'm like, okay, wait, puzzle this out.
yeah. No, I think the longest pause I had was that Wilson snipe decision. That was a real tough one for me to puzzle out. But
well, I have to tell you,
I
was playing this game with my family the other day, and my 7-year-old loves this game, and he got the Chihuahua and Raven early, and I told him about some of the scores you've been getting, and that actually inspired him. He was so impressed, and he hit like 95 points in his 3rd game, which I thought was amazing.
Oh, that's for a 7-year-old. That's amazing.
I thought it was really good.
So great.
But just wanted to let you know that even in my family, that knowing that you can score like the way you are here actually helps to motivate people to try and do better. Even like in my family, that's now the goal is we gotta be CACs, right? So I'll let you know if that happens.
yeah, please do. That'd be great. In the comments below.
yeah. If you've ever had a 7-year-old beat any of our scores, please let us know.
Yeah, that's right. Oh gosh. So I got that Wilson snipe down now. And so there's the 7 points that from that bird.
Very nice.
So basically, as we sort of end towards end of game here now, wind towards the end of the game, I'm going to be looking for a lot of high scoring birds. So 7, 8, and 9 point birds are going to be what I'm looking for to lay down.
Right. So that 0 in your hand is going to be a tucker.
Yep. And also now my egg capacity, I'm at 12 out of 23. So I've got a good chunk of space there that I can be using that grasslands effectively to gain cards, tuck cards, and gain resources, do whatever I need basically.
That's right.
So,
but I love how you've got some bowls open there. You're smart to leave those open so that your grackle and your mockingbird can pump cards into there.
Right. So I never wanted to get too close. Throughout the game, I was very cognizant of that. I didn't want to get too close to
capacity,
filling the entire row, because I want that pink power working passively for me.
Yes.
Every turn, and so there was no point to. So I'm 1 bird right now off of the platform bonus. So I got to get that platform bird, either a platform or a starbird down.
Right. Yes. Who do you find you're using your northern mockingbird on most here with the repeating the brown power? Where's your best bang for your buck?
Well, I mean, for points wise, it's hands down the grackle. You're getting an extra 2 points on every turn with the mockingbird.
That's right, because you get one for the card, 1 for the eggs. So as long as you've got the room, then that's a smart play.
Yeah, and I'm making sure to keep room on that on that grackle, so I always can do that. But right now I have 0 resources. I have low cards, so I mean I'm also. Oh, and there's so there's the blue winged warbler. That's 8 points. And it's a bowl bird. So I think I may have already hit my bowl capacity. It's not quite as critical, but it's still 8 points that I'll take. So
that's right. And so what about birds in the forest here? You've got 3 down, and that's the end of round goal. So are you thinking maybe get that 8-pointer up there? There you go. Yes. Okay. Brilliant.
Drop them in, and yep, that'll be an extra 2 birds, an extra 2 egg slots. Hopefully that's enough to actually get me through
to the final.
To win that, to win this current round goal. Yeah.
Very nice. Well, you're basically bouncing back and forth now between lay a bird or click for eggs.
Yeah. I want to be tucking as much as I can because those are just nice passive points. As long as I've got something in hand to be playing with for another bird next turn.
You're at 96 points now in the third round. So you're probably actually going to break 100 points in the third round.
Yeah, this because I still have a turn left, so that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good, yeah. So you're on pace here. If you hit 100 points in round 3, then you're probably on track to defeat the 150 challenge. And please let us know if you do beat it. We want to hear if there's a lot of people out there doing this or not many. It might be part of an elite crowd.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. It's definitely a tough go of it, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun getting there. So it was. It's just really a really great game.
It is a great game, and now you can decimate your casual Wingspan playing friends.
Yeah. So here I actually took the bonus for the. And there's a bittern. That's great too. So there's a nice 7-point bird to be putting into the wetlands. But I actually took the Franklin's Gull as a bonus just because I was so low on cards and I had no real good direction at the point. So I needed to get a bird there, which luckily I got picked up there with the bittern. So we'll see if we can't score something else out. Nothing else really to talk about there, but we can get the bittern going at least, which will.
Very nice.
With the Chihuahuan Raven now, I can actually get what I need for that bittern.
Yes.
The fish, the worm, and the mouse. So we're gonna get that set up for my next play.
When you took it, the end of round, you scored the points.
There it is. Yes. Oh, 8-7 too. It was a close shave,
yes,
but I'll take those 6 points. It's good.
That helps. Every point at this point, every single point is gonna really count.
Every point is critical. Yeah, there's we want to get to 150. It's there's just no
room for error.
Room for wasting. No, not at all. So we're going to go back into the grasslands here, collect some more points. So I've got that bittern I can fill up. So I've got five egg capacity, but I will be spending some eggs when I use the Franklin's Gull and the Chihuahuan Raven.
That's true. So so spend them off the bowls.
Yeah. I've got a lot of birds that I can be tucking. I also I seem to be doing pretty decent for resources, so I don't need those as much.
Yeah,
but,
that's not a problem at all.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that we have. I have that. In the card row though, there's the white-faced ibis for 8. So I also want to get that guy.
Yes.
So I'm also lining up to make sure that I can snag him.
Just strictly for the points.
Yep, strictly for the points. So that's another 8 points there. Now it will cost 2 in resources, but and there's the Profanitary Warbler as well for 8. So now I've got some awesome birds in hand that I can play in.
Wow, your food, you do not need any more food.
Right, but if I'm playing those 3 big birds, that's 9. I'm going to be needing a lot of that food actually.
Right, yeah.
When all said and done, so I've kind of set myself up for the next few turns to basically be dropping birds.
There will be no wastage here.
My egg capacity is already pretty well tapped out. I have room on that bowl for any bowl eggs like that one right there that just came. I could drop the egg in the bowl. There's the ibis down.
Wow.
He's also a platform bird, which will help towards my end of round bonus if I can get an egg on him.
Ibises nest in colonies with herons and egrets.
I also have that bittern, which is another platform bird. So I'll be able to get some eggs. If I can get some eggs on them, then there's 2 more birds added to my my totals for this round 4 challenge.
This is cool. I'm really enjoying watching you play this. This is really fun to just kind of get an idea of how someone else plays, right? So this is really going to help my game.
It was fun playing it too when I was going through and thinking, but it really is a bit of a puzzle. You really have to be puzzling out how you're going to play them all together to make sure that you maximize every single turn. So
for sure, yeah, I think I've beaten the 120 challenge. I don't think I've cracked the 130 yet. So
okay, very good.
You've breached a couple levels higher than me already.
Indeed. Oh man! So I've got 2 turns left. I've got that Profanitary Warbler I want to get in there. He's worth 8, and he is a platform, or he is a cavity bird as well. So that's going to fulfill my cavity end of game bonus card that I have.
Just out of curiosity, how do I pronounce that warbler's name?
Profanitary.
Nice.
Yes, I've heard it so many times in the game. It's become second nature to me. So
Oh, good. I thought I was going to catch you off guard there.
Oh no. I've played him enough to know how it's said.
So you learned something.
Now, if
every
I'm
day.
saying it wrong, please comment below and let me know. But that's the way they say it in the game. So
Yeah.
as far as I
The
can
woman
hear.
who says it has such a sweet voice. It's just, yeah. I like hearing the little specks on the birds.
Oh gosh! So you can see I just will have enough next turn to play that Profanitary Warbler. It'll be exactly the right amount of resources. I kind of wished I would have been able to play it and then end my game by taking eggs, but
Right. This is it, though.
that would have
This
been slightly more ideal. But
this is the final play, though. Are you nervous?
oh boy, a little bit.
So give us a quick recap then. What are the strategies here that you've used?
Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I tried to pair my bonus cards all together, so that the historian's name. I did have two different bird boxes I was looking for, so starred birds if possible. That was the first one. No birds that were worth less than 2.
Oh, and you did it. You got round 4 too.
So if you look at the totals for the game, 81 points scored for bird points, 15 points scored for the bonus end of game bonuses, 18 points scored for the end of round bonuses, 25 points scored on eggs, and 11 points scored for tucked points under birds. So if you add all that up, it hits 150 on the nose. Yeah, so just a quick overview of 5 main strategies that I really used in this game to find success. Number 1, trying to pair your bonus cards together to make sure that basically when you play one bird, it's going to be hitting on a few different bonus card strategies. Number 2, no birds played that are worth 2 points or less, or actually under 2 points. And if they're 2 or 3 point birds, then they really need to be critical, like that mockingbird, which basically just kept doubling up end of game or end of each turn's bonus. Pink powers, you need to have the pink power birds in there. And lastly, your potential egg capacity, keeping that relatively high and keeping it as full as you possibly can.
I just have to ask you, how many likes will it take to get you to do the 160 challenge?
Oh gosh, it did take many games of playing to hit 150. I'm thinking 1,500.
That's amazing.
If
Jumping from
we get
50 likes to
1,500 likes,
1,500.
I will tackle the 160 challenge.
All right, well, you heard it out there. 1,500 likes if you want to see the 160 challenge. So good luck. We've never had that many on a video before, so I have a feeling
That's right.
Cax is ready.
It will be a legendary tactics record.
That's right. So, but speaking of likes, make sure you peck the like button and feed our subscriptions. And thanks so much for your time. And Cax, thanks for all your hard work on this video.
Oh, you bet. It was a lot of fun.